Hey everybody, welcome back here to Off the Top Rope here on the Off the Mic Sports Network. Okay, so oh my goodness, thinking about where we were in the world of Ricochet a year ago. Some positive things have happened in Ricochet's life since he left WWE for AEW. He's since gotten married. Congratulations, married a beautiful woman, very talented woman in Samantha Irvin. That happened. He's been in a bunch of high profile matches, and I think his heel turn has largely, kind of gone okay, but it's kind of diminished a little bit because now he's meandering around, trying to get some henchmen with him, and I think he's pairing up with the Gates of Agony, which Gates of Agony have been losers for a while. I do like Bishop Khan and Toa but they haven't been presented as anything really to, and Ricochet's promos are kind of cringe. But Ricochet's gotten clowned by Javon Evans. And now, really, all this talk and hype about Ricochet, he was a surprise entrant in the Casino Gauntlet last year. He may show up in this. There's no inkling about it, and we don't know how long that gauntlet's going to go. But Ricochet doesn't really necessarily at least have a definitive path. And everybody was talking about him as this high-profile signing. So, and Ricochet's had some weird social media activity, and I needed to highlight this latest episode of Ricochet is an idiot, or Ricochet is a loser. Because here's what happened. Whether this was in character or not, you've got to stop with this internet bullshit. Like not TNA, WWE, like Seth Rollins got out of line a little bit years ago with his social media activity. Even he doesn't do bullshit like this. So WrestleTix puts out their latest count for All Out, which is going to be in Toronto the weekend of September 20th on Saturday. So they're doing this a lot later in the calendar, and they're not doing it immediately after All In, which is an interesting little tweak in the calendar this year. It's taking place in Toronto, another tweak, not in Chicago this year. It's the first time that event's never been held in that marketplace. So he tweets at Drake because, fun thing, Drake is, Drake actually showed up in Toronto for Elimination Chamber. Drake, in the court of public opinion, depending on who you talk to, is not a very popular guy. So Ricochet, listen, I don't even really care if this is kayfabe or not. This is stupid. He goes, "Hey, Drake Crody, we going to be in Toronto in September. I can pull some strings and get you some comp ticks, my guy. Pop up." This is the same company that some of the schmucks in the marketplace, the indie schmucks and the geeks and the AEW sickos were clamoring for Kendrick Lamar to show up at Revolution. Remember that? Revolution was literally a week after Elimination Chamber, where Drake was in the front row. And now you got Ricochet, who hasn't really been relevant on AEW television in a large part of this AEW All-In build. Really, and some of this is also a failure on Tony Khan. Ricochet had some sort of a direction after he beat Mark Briscoe in that stretcher match at Double or Nothing, which, was thrown on there, but it was a feud, and, it actually turned into something, and they came up with some stuff. But Ricochet then finds a way to just be a fucking clown on the internet, man. And it's like, some of this could be character. I don't think it's very good. And my whole thing is with social media activity, like, especially with the stuff that, this may feel more towards, but also, why the fuck are you even leaning into WrestleTix? What the fuck are you doing? That's the part of this stuff. It's like, okay, you could basically hashtag, like, why are you doing stuff with WrestleTix? Like, put up an All Out graphic and quote retweet that. What the fuck? That's why I don't like this method that he's going about. And then, of course, the Drake stuff, with the whole Kendrick Lamar thing, the fan base. I don't know what this was. I don't think it was the right way to go about business. He also hasn't been presented very well. And then, obviously, the whole spat with Javon Evans, from earlier in the year just didn't make him look good. To see where this guy was, went out the right way in WWE, did good business to put over Braun Breaker right around SummerSlam. I mean, guy was really, in a large way, you never heard really a bad thing about him at WWE, but he feels the need to tell you how terrible WWE is now because he's interacting with fans. And then he's just like, hey, hey, Drake, come over to All Out. You're promoting All Out. Granted, hey, you've got a pay per view this weekend in a baseball stadium that you may not even be on. You might be in the gauntlet. Who knows? Surprise interest in the gauntlet. Guys, let's be real. In the court of public opinion, is Ricochet any better off than he was? Like, yeah, in terms of, character, I think he might be better off. But he's literally the same guy he was in WWE, just with an annoying heel shtick that he's got going on. Cool. So, and he's part of the reason why I blame WWE for not having Samantha Irvin there. I know Samantha had her own goals in mind, but Samantha not being in WWE, WWE clearly misses her. Clearly misses her. I like Mark Nash on SmackDown. I think he's done a really good job. Alicia Taylor, God bless her. Sounds like a lovely woman backstage, is beloved backstage. She is trying so hard to capture the Samantha Irvin essence. And it feels so forced and so hammed up, it's ridiculous. So Ricochet, I blame you for that. And Ricochet probably likes Alicia Taylor too. Samantha Irvin probably likes Alicia Taylor. That's another part of this. That's a little quibble of mine. But then I see this little nonsensical social media activity from this guy, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Trying to get involved with Drake using a WrestleTix ticket post, which is basically used to feed tribalism. Like, I mean, it's basically used to be ticket sales. By the way, I got to hand this to Toronto. Like, I got to hand this to for the All Out. They did a good number at Forbidden Door. They've already got 8,000 tickets out. They've got 8,000 tickets out. They had almost 14,000 people in that place 2 years ago for Forbidden Door around this time. Good for them. But the Drake shit, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Focus on your stuff on television. Try building that. Clamor for better booking because you look like an idiot. The whole goofy, I don't even know what the rapper is that he does a stupid gimmick like, aha! It's good heel stuff, but he hasn't been taken seriously. And then you go and have nonsensical internet activity with people like Javon Evans and fans, and then you're trying to clamor for Drake to come show up to your show after a lot of people in your fan base were clamoring for Kendrick Lamar to show up at Revolution in Los Angeles. And people were saying, oh man, maybe they'll go get Kendrick. They didn't. And, Drake was at a WWE show literally the week prior to Revolution. The latest episode of Ricochet is a loser. The guy's a loser. I don't know what you guys want me to say, man. Like, it's nonsensical activity like this. It's like, dude. And then he just is trying to burn every bridge he has with WWE. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Quit it with the bullshit. Focus on trying to you're getting paid a lot of money off of your past successes in the platform that you had. Use it to effectively get yourself into a better position. And who knows? Maybe if Hangman Page, I'm hoping he wins, maybe he can be positioned to be a world title challenger. If Omega wins, hey, he had a great match with, Speedball and Omega for the international championship. Maybe that leads to something. I don't know. But knock it off with this bullshit, please. Seriously, man. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.